Okay, people, let's do a little bit with the styling. I know I said it was not really a Bootstrap video, but that's okay. It's a little nasty looking right now. So why don't we do something about that? Okay, so let's see where we left off here. Let's start with this. This whole thing, everything's pushed to the left really hard. So let's put it all in a container to give it a little start. Do you remember where we're gonna, if we want to do something that's the whole view? I'll tell you, it's in here in the views, layouts, application, right? So we want to put a Bootstrap class called container, which gives everything, puts it in a little container, gives it a little margin. So all we need to do is going to wrap the whole thing here basically with Emmet. You can do this Control-Shift-P to get to here and see it's a recent one I've used, Emmet wrap with abbreviation. Hit that, we can say dot container, hit enter. See what it did there, it wrapped that whole, whatever I had highlighted. Pretty neat. So hit save. Get rid of some of this stuff. We'll look at that in a minute. Go over here and hit reload. That's a little better. Let's keep this the full length though. So we'll take that piece out. So we'll just move this down here, so that stop it now. So that this header is outside of it. Let's see what that does. That's better. The footer might be weird, but I don't want that pushed up against the side. Well, we're not worried about the footer right now. Let's take a look at show exercise. Let's start with the new exercise. So new exercise, the view, exercises, views, new, right? So take a look at what's going on here. So you got some of this Ruby stuff. So if it's new to you, that's fine. Just sort of figure out what must be going on here. You probably knew your HTML pretty well, so we can see what we do know. We know this new exercise. Here's that header, obviously. We're rendering. Remember what render and the form does? It's doing a partial. So in a partial over here is going to be with the underscore. So that's going to be this. Whatever in here is going to be here. And then there's a div with back to exercises. So so everything between this header and this back to exercises is going to be inside that partial. So let's start with this back to exercises. Let's make that a button, as long as we're on this page already. So all you need to do here with Bootstrap is add a class, and you say button, and button with a modifier. And you can look these all up on the Bootstrap site. There's a bunch of different ones. And they basically just give them a different color. So the primary is blue. So let's say we did secondary. If I could spell secondary, it would be better. Hit save, reload. There, it's gray. So there's different modifier names. They have different colors, basically. We can leave that one gray. That's fine. So let's see. So we said we want to get this stuff a little bit, which we said is render the form, which is going to be over here. Okay, so what do we have going on here? So there's a bunch of Ruby stuff that we don't need to necessarily worry about, right? That's basically stuff that's saying if we had 10 fields on here, it knows how to, spit out 10 instead of the 4 or 5 that we have, okay? So we want to worry about starting right where it says exercise. So where is that start for us? That's right here, right? Okay, so the first thing we want to do is, if you look at the here, I had it up here already. That's what I was looking for. The Ruby, the Bootstrap docs. There's all kinds of information here. You just look for what you want to style, or what kind of component you want to add, and you look it up, and it gives you all kinds of things you can do to it. For this, we just want to do some form stuff. So on each one of these, we want to put a, what do we want to do? Form control is what it was called, and it's going to go on the form, on the text field itself. So when there's only one, I don't think you need to put the comma there. We'll see. So we're going to put a class colon form dash control, and we'll see what that does to start with before we go on every one of them. Invalid code. So that means it's giving me this error. So I'm going to just say it must need the comma there. Some of them need the comma and some don't, and I'm not really sure which ones are which. I always forget. So let's take a look at that. Get rid of that. Let's see what this did for us, if anything. Okay, so we're on the right track. Okay, that's too wide, but we'll address that in a minute. We'll add this little form control thing so we get the nice edges and everything like that. So we're going to add that to the rest of these. Basically, I need this. I might as well just copy it, right? And I'm just going to Alt-click on these places where I'm going to put it all three of those places. Paste, it'll put it in all three places. Save. Oops. All right, that's a little better. Let's put a little, where's this create exercise button? Oh, so this is the create exercise button, right? First of all, let's make it a Bootstrap button, right? So we can put a form, class here. You have to say button, and then the button primary, I guess. Let's try primary. I think that's the blue one. Let's see if we like that. That's good. Give it a little, we can add a little margin top, and you give it a number. It's not pixels, it's, I don't know what it is. But you can, play with it. So that one's a little too small. Let's just make it a 4. There it goes. That's a little better. Looking better already. But we want this whole thing to not be so big. So it's these pieces, right, that we're really worried about. The rest of it doesn't extend so far. So we want to wrap these 4 things, right? So where are these 4 things? Are these ones with the label, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's do our wrap thing again. Control-Shift-P, we get my Emmet wrap with abbreviation. We're going to wrap it with a class. Let's see, let's call it, how about form wrapper? All right. So now that's not a Bootstrap, but that's one we're going to make ourselves, right? So to do some, add some styles, just regular old CSS styles of your own, you're going to go up here to Assets, App, Assets, Style Sheets, Application CSS. This tells you a little information about what's going on here, but you can just add, you can make your own individual files of different sheets over here, and then you would require them in here, or you can just type your CSS in here, which is what we're going to do. We called it a form wrapper, and we wanted to have, let's say, a max width of about 18 rem. I don't know. I'm just making something up, and we'll see what it looks like. Why did that work? My form wrapper, did I spell something wrong somewhere? I never hit save on this one, that's why. Saved, hit reload. That's better. That's too bad. How about we put a little bit of spacing underneath the label on each one of those? Form label, style. This already has class. Maybe we can just hook it right onto those. Let's see if that works or not. We may have to put this on the div itself, but we might be able to sneak it in here. Oh. That'll be margin bottom of like 2. Let's see if that works. Like I say, that might not work here. It might have to be on the div, not on that form, but we are about to find out. That works. Okay, that's a little better. How about a tiny bit of space above new exercise? Now that's not on this page because this is that partial. We said it's in this new page, new exercise. So we can just say class equals margin top 3. How about that? It's a little better. And then just a little bit more below the back to exercises. Give this a margin bottom 3. That works. Looks much better, right? So we said the form is used not just in the new, but it's also in the edit, right? So some of it we have already, but some of those things like we added a class to the H1 of the other, so I have to redo that over here. So this is going to be the edit page, right? So give this one the little margin top 3. Let's start with that. And that's a little better. I'll have to take a break. I'll be right back.